Don't forget about that.
And we're back.
Hey, guys.
For the members. Oh, we forgot to do our whole member guilt trip thing. Like, hey, you're not a member. You should join.
We'll have to do an extra special little cut out for that.
Yes. A short of our shorts.
Yes. And our legs.
We've been getting these comments about our thighs.
Apparently, they're so impressive and distracting.
I had no idea.
I didn't either, but I'm not mad at it.
Hey, I mean, we were just hot. Like literally, like we live in San Diego.
Yeah, we're in hot season right now.
Adam's very cheap and doesn't let me turn the AC on.
And we have, a light blasting on us, so it gets a little sticky in here.
Yeah, we have to breathe, otherwise we'll just be puddles of sweat by the end of the show. So sorry. I hope you enjoy the show. You people who hate our legs. And for the people who love them, feast.
Bam. Bam. Bam.
Look at them. Right here for you. Anyway, so what is the deal with Jon Jones?
So he has announced that he's going to be retiring after this year, basically.
Okay, but I'm not surprised, but I'm also surprised.
Do you think it's because he's ducking Aspinall, who's hot on his trail?
Could be.
That's what the trolls will say.
It could be.
He wants to keep that record nice and pristine.
The trolls being Jessica Penne.
Yes. I can get trolly sometimes.
I mean, you have reason to. They did move a whole card, to make sure that he was good to fight.
And didn't have any sanctioning issues and blah, blah, blah. But here I am. It's okay. They play favorites. Yeah. We all know that.
It's all right.
It's in the past. It's fine. I've let it go almost.
Almost.
Never forget.
I would bring it up. Hey, remember that time? They didn't care about the picograms. But I am surprised because he said it. Yeah. That's what surprises me. I felt like he would have been hibernating for a long time, seeing who else Aspinall could fight. Maybe he could get to fight Cyril Gane again. Maybe he could sit out and let these guys battle over the interim title. But I'm surprised that he finally said, after this, I'm done.
Maybe he's trolling us.
He could be.
He could be. You never know with him.
Well, remember Jose Aldo? He retired in Salt Lake City. Yeah. Then he retired again in, what was it, Rio? Uh-huh. And then he, the whole time they're like, Jose Aldo's last fight is going to be so much better, him retiring here than Salt Lake City. And then he beats the guy's butt.
Impressively.
Top contender, Munoz, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I like the way I felt. I'm going to do it again.
They're like, we just wasted all of those edits.
You said
that whole thing. Like we talked about this. We prepared this. We want to make this special for you, and this is what you do.
No, take your gloves off.
We already put you in the Hall of Fame.
Take those gloves off. Put them on the canvas right now. But yeah. Jose Aldo, he did what he wanted. Jon Jones, I'm sure, can do what he wants after that fight happens. If he smokes Stipe, I would not be surprised if he's like, I got one more in me. Mm-hmm. We'll see when.
Don't break Tom's heart.
No.
Don't break it. He's been so nice.
He's been a gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah, he has.
That fight.
He really has. Would you be sad if the Jones-Aspinall fight never happened?
I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. Absolutely. I'd really like to see that. I mean, I still have like a tendency to favor Jon Jones just because he really is the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the best. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see it. Plus, you have just a compelling story. This kid who has just like climbed the ladder in the UFC heavyweight division and just putting people away so freaking impressively. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see what he looks like against the greatest of all time.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he gets that notch for a long time unless that happens.
Yes.
He's going to have to beat up a bunch more people in the way that he's been doing. So it's not like he's not on course for that to happen. But if that doesn't happen right now, then they're not going to be calling him to go for maybe a year or two. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. Stipe, good luck. Jon Jones, can't wait. Hope you stick around. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We just got him back.
I know. We just got him back.
Enough with the yo-yo
it's not
thing.
fair.
Stop teasing us.
And it's going to be Madison Square Garden, right? In November. That'd be a fun card to be on. After all the crap we talked about the New York City Commission, I'd still love to fight in Madison Square Garden.
100%. I mean, I got to fight in freaking Long Island.
It's a little different.
That is very different, New York, than Madison Square Garden.
Oh,
that's legendary.
Yeah.
So
it's just a tiny bit different.
Yes,
it's the Wish version. I guess it's New York. Yeah. What else is happening? Oh, did you hear about that Alex Pereira thing?
I did.
With the TikToker.
OnlyFans. OnlyFans lady.
Okay.
I wish I had my phone with my notes for this one. But apparently he was accused of coming on to this online presence, and she accused him of sexual assault.
Yeah.
But it seems to be quickly debunked. It seems to be that it's more attention seeking, which I hate to see that. I hate to say that as a female. I want to,
believe women.
But if that is the case, then it's, I hope that she gets run through it. And
yeah, because you're messing it up for all the people who are actually getting assaulted.
You really are. You make it hard to believe other women. So if that's the case, then I really hate to see it.
Yeah, same. Apparently there were all these videos where she came out and talked about what happened, but then there were inconsistencies. They were saying, she said something like, oh, she had never been to a UFC except for this one, but she had been to a previous one, and they found evidence. And you can't mess with someone like Alex Pereira. Like, if you can mess with someone who's maybe coming into the UFC, doesn't really have a fan base, like that poor what was his name, Cedriquez or whatever, that kid.
Oh yeah,
like he just got his case erased, and he had to come on his post-fight speech and say, hey, I didn't beat her. But you can't mess with someone like Alex Pereira, who is just such a superstar. People will find the evidence if it's out there.
Of course.
And I like that he just shamed through the whole situation. He never talked about it. He didn't address it at all. People were like asking him for what do you call it, statement? Yeah, and he just was like, well, I guess he just didn't say anything. So I think that was the best way to approach it, because eventually the truth came out in the wash. Yeah,
as it always does. Especially with it's so hard to hide these days with social media. Everybody has their freaking phones out. Everybody keeps records and receipts of things, and it's just really hard to get away for an extended period of time with a lie, with the dishonesty.
Yeah, she ended up erasing all her social media. And the other thing that kind of outed her was that she was bragging on her OnlyFans about how it got her so much attention, coming out and saying and accusing them of these things. Like, how stupid do you need to be?
That is not the way to do it.
That's not how you scam people.
No.
Girl, you need some scamming lessons. Like, yeah. She just did all the right things to get caught, and luckily for Alex Pereira, his name's been cleared within less than a week. Yeah, so good for him. What else is going on in MMA news?
UFC 305 is coming in hot.
Yes.
We have this crazy storyline with Adesayna and Duplessis. We have the African champ versus the African champ.
Who's the real
African champ? Who's the real African champ?
Duplessis feels like he is. He's the only one who brought that up.
I know. I know.
Yes.
You know what? I really want to see this fight. I think it's exciting because it's just Duplessis has this ability to take people out of their game and put people away. We saw him do it with Whitaker, where I was, rooting for Whitaker. We saw him give Strickland a really hard time, although a lot of people think that Strickland had that fight. But he repeatedly takes people out of their game. And so it'll be interesting to see his approach with Adesanya, and it'll be interesting to see Adesanya hopefully revamped, replenished from his, long break, and hopefully we see, the best version of him, so we get a really good fight.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about coming into this fight for Adesanya is that he got a good 5 minutes, or 5 rounds rather, to look at all of Duplessis's tells, look at all the weird things he does when he gets into the later rounds, see the kind of motions that he makes, because Adesanya is such a studier. He likes to study, and he likes to find the openings and find where he can lean and get weird angles on stuff. And Duplessis, he seems more like someone who just throws something out there as hard as he can, and he'll try a slightly different angle every time. So I feel like he's more in the moment, but I think Adesanya likes to plan these things out. Just like his entrances, just like, all the come up, all his pre-fight speeches, post-fight victory laps. He plans all of that out. And the good thing for Adesanya is he has a lot to plan off of, because Duplessis' fight against Strickland showed a lot. It showed that he can get a takedown. It showed that he could last 5 rounds. It showed that he kind of walks into certain things, but then he gives it right back. And it's not going to come from the angle you're thinking that it's going to come from. Like, that guy is wild. And it's funny, when he first got matched with Strickland, people are like, ooh, this is going to be an ugly fight. It kind of showed how orthodox Strickland was compared to how unorthodox Thingy was. Strickland's like the total opposite end of the spectrum. And so when you have someone like Adesanya, who is more flashy, who waits, who's a counter fighter, it's going to be interesting how Duplessis approaches this fight, because I don't know, if you just wade in against someone like Adesanya, you're going to get hit on the way in.
The only thing, not the only thing, but the one thing that I think I worry about the most is Adesanya's tendency to get his back against the cage and get really wide and off balanced and leave his jaw open. We saw it on Strickland. We saw it with Pereira. We see these moments where he's very vulnerable. So, and I see that being an opportunity for Duplessis to capitalize, because of the way he comes forward and throws everything into every single punch.
Yeah, he's going to have that extra, just that extra motivation to really crush him, like really just close the distance, get him to that place where Adesanya tends to get hit, because he just, I'm watching this guy and I'm just like, how the heck did he duck down below belt level, then stand up and throw overhand chopping down left punch in that amount of time? It's fast. It's awkward. The things that are open, like his head will be open, but from this angle. So if you throw a punch, it's going to get blocked. Like, I could see the frustration on Strickland trying to land clean on him, because a lot of things are just looped and weird, and he's strong, and his arms are big, his shoulders are big, his chest is big. There's a lot to hit that's not his face. So it really makes it hard for someone who's trying to be precise in there. And that's another thing I was worried about too for Adesanya. Strickland had the most success when he just got a little crazy.
Yeah.
He just started looping punches. He started throwing big. He opened up. And that's when he really tagged up Duplessis. And I feel like that was a clue for Adesanya. This is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to mix things up. You're going to have to throw hard and throw big every now and then, just to get that optic thing going for you, just to, distract from all the big stuff Duplessis might have done in that round and maybe get the knockout. So this is one of those ones where the fight's going to look totally different. You can't use MMA math here.
Nope.
we don't know what to expect.
No, you just gotta sit down with your popcorn.
Yeah.
You with your non-alcoholic beverage. I can still have a little libation myself. I'm far enough out.
At least I can have salt on it on my popcorn. That'll be a nice treat.
Yeah, we just get to sit back and like really enjoy this one.
Yeah,
and it's one of those fights that, you know, there's emotion involved in it because of the buildup, because of the history. So I think this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I think if Duplessis uses wrestling like he did in the Strickland fight, if he throws big, it can be a really rough night for Adesanya. Mm-hmm. It's yeah.
I can see either one winning.
I know. That's the crazy
paths
thing.
To victory either way. It's just who shows up and does it better
on
that night. And it could end up different in a rematch. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those matchups that there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of possibilities, which is very exciting.
UFC Zulu. We're gonna have a trilogy here. I can taste it. I think if we're lucky, Adesanya wins. We have the immediate rematch. Duplessis wins. Then we have the third one, the third fight for all the marbles.
There are some fighters that just deserve to have trilogies, and this is one of them.
This is definitely one. I would sit down for this anime, for this movie every time and enjoy the show. Well, any other fights on 305 that you're looking forward to? I feel horrible that poor Dan Hooker has to fight Matus Gamrot.
That's a tough one. Gamrot, man, he stood out so much to me in his last fight with his takedowns, with the way he mixed everything in. It was really impressive, and I think that makes for a really tough fight for Hooker.
Yeah, he's been getting smoked by people like that. They're just able to kind of crush the distance, stop his striking, and really just sit on him, make him work, make him suffer, drain his energy, and he can't get those popping things that he's used to having.
Yeah, Hooker needs room to have straight punches and knees and like those super nasty weapons that, you know, got him to the level where he's at. But I think it's time for, you know, a reinvention of himself and his fighting style.
For sure. He is on a streak right now, though. He has 2 wins that he put together in his last 2 fights. So we'll see what Dan Hooker looks like right now. This is going to be his first fight of the year. And a lot of time off since his Jalen Turner fight. So I'm wondering if he's going to come back, you know, out of the hyperbolic chamber, too, with Adesanya and put on a great show. And then the co-main is fireworks.
For sure, but that's not the one I'm excited to watch.
Oh, which one?
I'm more excited to see Tuivasa and Jessica Rosenstruik. I am so excited for this fight because you know it's going to be standing. You know that 2 fighters are going to be able to utilize the weapons that they're the best at.
Do you know?
I do.
It's a heavyweight fight. You don't know shit.
I do.
You don't. There is a chance that somebody ends up on the ground and they just have a grappling match.
Don't
for all
that.
3. There's a chance.
Angela Hill.
The only reason I say this is because you're so excited.
How could you?
You're so.
I'm so excited for this fight.
You're so excited that could happen because you're so excited.
But
that's
the
what
reason
happens.
the matchmakers did this is because Tai Tuivasa has been put on his back. So has Rosenstruik.
Yes.
And they don't want to see that. They want a guaranteed freaking knockout fireworks like slug match.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not going to be necessarily a slug match because they're very technical strikers, but they're just, we want to see fists flying.
Yes, we want to see
blood. So that's why
this
fight was made.
We want to see a face explode off of its jawline.
We want to see the shoey win or lose.
Yes.
We want to see it.
I just had the worst visual.
Do tell.
Because we watched a horror movie last night. So
which one was it?
It was called Night Shift. It was pretty good, but
oh, I've seen that. No, is that with the witch?
No, but it's like this chick and she's working a night shift at a motel. They got Winston, the guy who plays Winston from New Girl, is in it.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, it was a cute little movie, but
a cute little horror movie.
Cute little horror movie.
Date night.
Yeah, it was a good date night movie. But what what I imagined was Rosenstruik doing what he did to Alistair Overeem.
Oh.
Doing that to poor Tai Tuivasa and then him doing a shoey
in front of him.
Out of his destroyed upper lip. Like that. Because of the horror movie. That's the only reason. That fight, the picture from that fight of Alistair Overeem looked like a horror movie.
Is the prime example of why you don't watch scary things before bed. Look at what it did to your mind.
It just messed me up. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I ate a bunch of chocolate. It was horrible. It was horrible. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Do that to yourself again. Yeah, I don't want that to happen to Tuivasa. I think he's awesome. But I am excited about Rosenstruik too. I think they're both amazing fighters who don't get the credit they deserve. They're both like just killing it in there. Win or lose is an exciting fight. So, yeah, I can't wait to see that one. You are right. That is definitely one I'm looking forward to.
Damn straight. But yes, the co-main event is very exciting.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it now.
And it puts somebody right. It puts somebody right in line for the next title shot at the flyweight division. It does. It's a very important fight. It's an exciting fight.
It is.
I'm a basic bitch, and I want to see two heavyweights knock each other out. That's
totally legitimate. Yeah, I mean, you got two technical guys, technical flyweights, boring, but there's a good chance that one of them will knock each other out too.
Very true.
So that's always exciting too. Like they're both really technically sound. They're both, Kai Kara-France is really seasoned, and Steve Erceg just seems like he's been in the UFC forever already. Whenever you watch him fight. Nobody knows who he is still.
Even though he's fought for the title.
Nobody knows who this title
Even though
challenger
he fought
is.
for the title.
I think it's his face.
It might be.
I think
much
it's
like
face.
Steve what's his name? From The Office.
Yeah, he looks like, which one? Michael? He looks like Michael and the other guy from The Office. The one who sings the songs.
I've never actually watched The Office.
Are you serious? Why are you making The Office jokes?
Because it's the 40-year-old version guy.
Yes. He looks like Michael from The Office. I love it. Yeah, that he does. Oh my gosh.
He does.
What is his age? We're gonna call him 29-year-old virgin. 29-year-old virgin Steve Erceg is a phenomenal fighter. Almost won the belt, I felt like. I think if he
made it close.
He made it super close. I think if he fought one more time, then he would have gotten it. But we'll see how good he is, because Kai Kara-France, he's been in the game. Vicious. He's been just fighting everyone. Again, win or lose, it's a amazing show. And this could be his shot to the title. So we'll see. Is there like a flyweight title shot or title match scheduled yet? No.
We just had one.
Which one was it?
We just had Erceg just fought for it.
Okay, in May. So that's fast turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had to fight out there. Like that's his spot.
Yeah, that's his spot.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that one. And then you wanted to talk about Noche?
I did, but I think we should actually answer some fan questions.
Ooh, fan question time.
Yeah, we still have a little bit of time to talk about Noche, to be honest.
Okay, cool. I was like, did I hit record?
Oh my gosh. Angela.
Just kidding. Yes, I was just checking the prelims on 305. I don't want to talk about any of them.
None of them?
Not really.
It's fine. We don't have to. We can.
I mean, I like King.
We
Casey.
can talk about them after.
King Casey and Luana are fighting.
Yes, I feel like Luana Santos just fucking fought.
She did. She filled in short notice for. Oh wait, no,
Bleda,
that was someone else.
For Teresa Bleda.
Okay, when was that?
No, that was who Casey O'Neill was supposed to originally fight.
Oh, okay.
No, she just fought.
She fought Agapova.
Yes, that girl.
And submitted her.
Yes.
Yeah, so this will be a nice little grapple and tackle match.
Yes, this is super exciting. Okay, we can move on.
Okay. I laid down the bait and Jess said, I want to talk about fan questions. It's a good one, though.
No, this is a really good one.
Yeah.
I'm a big O'Neal fan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fan question.
No. All right, we are not on the same page today.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
We could. But I want to talk about you taking a short notice title fight. That was awesome.
I mean, it didn't turn out well for me.
It's more interesting than O'Neal versus Santos.
Yes, true. So we as fighters are here to work up for a title shot. So if you get a short notice opportunity to fight for the title, you're taking it.
Yeah.
I don't care what state of mind you're at. I was not in the best place. I was actually not in a great place to be fighting. However, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I was going to turn it down. It didn't go my way. It was a good learning experience. It was a hard fight. It was a tough fight. I learned a lot about myself in that fight. And I think that, anybody who turns down a title shot, I would ask them to look at themselves and ask them why they're here.
Yeah.
You just don't turn down a title fight. No
Duplessis did. Just saying. I think a couple times actually.
Did he really?
Well, I know about the one they were trying to do something short notice, like a short notice title match or something, and like maybe Adesayna was down and then Duplessis couldn't do it, but then eventually they were able to book Adesayna versus Strickland, and so that happened. But I think he was pretty much like, oh, that's secured. It's different when you're down the line. It's a lot different when you're down the line and you don't know if this opportunity is going to come again, at least within the next few years, because you're like ranked number 8 or 6 or something like that. A lot of things have to happen for you to get that title shot and be next in line guaranteed, like Duplessis was. So, yeah, it's impressive, but I'm sure there's a lot of fighters who get that call and they're like, I'm not ready.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I was personally ready or in a good spot for it, but I did it.
Yeah.
You just, there's certain things that, don't come around again. And who knows if I would have gotten that opportunity.
Yeah.
If I hadn't. It could have worked out like much better for me if I had turned it down. There are a lot of fights that maybe I shouldn't have taken because of the place I was at. But I'll never know, and I can't think like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I chose. That was my choice. And I don't ever want to miss up on opportunities. You never know what can come from them, win or lose.
Mm-hmm. What place were you at? Can you talk about it, or is it like time?
No, I've talked about this before. I'm very open about like the anxiety, depression that I've experienced, and leading up into that fight, like I couldn't get through a sparring round without like breaking down, without having a severe like anxiety reaction. And it wasn't until after that fight that I started seeing a psychiatrist. I got on, I started seeing a psychiatrist. I got on medication for a short time. I just had to really start working through things because I wasn't living life in a normal, healthy, happy way. And normally fighting was my medicine for that. But at that time, I was just so overwhelmed. We were coming off of, a reality TV show that was really hard to be on and brought up a lot of things I guess I had buried down deep. So it was a really tough time. And normally where fighting was therapeutic for me, it was not in this case. I did my best with what I had to work with. But in all honesty, it was a really, really tough battle. And not just the fight, it was a lot of my internal struggles and battles.
Yeah, I was really impressed with your toughness through it, though. Like every round you would come back with something, like you didn't wilt. You know what I mean? Like you didn't wilt. They saved you from yourself because you were just gonna keep going forward and keep trying new things. Like it was a really impressive like show of toughness. And to like anyone looking at your social media, looking at the press and everything, seeing the come up, they would never have known that you're going through something like that.
Well, And I appreciate that. I'm a very private person, but I've learned that not, speaking my truth and not being vulnerable is actually like a huge hindrance to me. And it also, it doesn't help anybody else. And anybody else who's, experiencing, a hard time or having anxiety and depression, like you need to speak out about it so that you can get the help and support that you need. It's not something that anybody should really go on with alone. And so if I like continually speak about it, I think that it gives people permission to get help.
Yeah. Fighting is one of those things where it can make you the happiest and the saddest.
Oh man, it is
so quickly. It's instant.
I'm not kidding you. It's this sport has broken my heart many times. It's filled me up many times. It's a very tough relationship.
It's abusive. It's an abusive relationship. We're not even talking about physically. It's mentally abusive. It's like, hey, you're the most amazing person in the world. And then 2 months later, you fucking suck. Like that's the sport.
Yeah.
And people have such short memories, and that feeds into you as an athlete too. You have short memories. You forget all the things that you did in order to get to where you're at. You forget all your successes. You remember the failures heavier. You remember the mean comments more than the compliments. And it's really hard to just be comfortable within yourself when you're in this huge platform. You're on display. Like basically our entire careers are in front of people. And yeah, that's part of the perks of it, but it's a lot of the depression, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of those things come just from being so exposed.
Yeah, we live in a fishbowl essentially. Everything, our successes, our failures, everything is just magnified. We're on display for everybody to watch and judge, and people feel so compelled to give their opinions and their criticisms and their support too. So it's really hard to sometimes navigate through that. So what I have learned in my experience is it's just important for me to stay grounded within myself. I have an amazing support system, and I have, centered myself to the point where the outside praise and criticisms affect me a lot less.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important. People be like, the praise, but that's important too, to make sure it doesn't give you that high that you get addicted to. And that's why you see people like poor Tony Ferguson still chasing that high, even though it's almost obvious at this sport, because I do it too. I'm like, oh, he's going to win this one. But at this point, I think it's obvious that the sport has passed him by. But just the act of leaving one glove in there, like still having it on the back burner. Maybe I can come back. Maybe I get one more fix of what it feels like to win and for everyone to love you and to be the hero of the day. It's so easy to get addicted to.
It is.
Yeah. Yep. I take a title fight, short notice.
Damn straight you would.
I don't know. I think that's obvious. I think that's obvious. But one person I really admire is Jamal Hill, because he was ranked number 8 when he got the call to fight for the title. And he took that opportunity and ran with it. Of course, he's not champion now, but so many people know his name. He's become a huge name in his division in the sport because of just showing up when opportunity knocked and being successful with it.
It's that championship mentality.
Yeah.
That one needs to have. It's you don't get to where you're wanting to go by turning down opportunities like that. And I mean, again, he didn't get the result that he was aiming for in the previous one. However, like it's opened up other doors for him.
Yeah.
Failure isn't fatal. What's that saying? I believe that's the saying.
That's cool.
Even though you're not getting the result that you want, there are still opportunities and other things that can come from that experience.
And showing up and not necessarily feeling ready, but fighting your heart out can be one of those things that get you that opportunity. Yeah. So I think it would be odd as well if a fighter turned down that opportunity just because they're not ranked, just because they don't feel ready. They're worried about criticism or whatever things would pop up if you're getting that opportunity a little before becoming number 3 or 2 in the rankings. Yeah. But good question, fan. If y'all have any fan questions, leave them in the comments.
And we'll get to them.
Yeah, I had a brain fart right there. I was like, what am I saying?
You said it. You said it.
Yay. Okay. What else? What else we doing here?
We are just we're saying goodbye.
Oh, okay. Let's get out of here. I'm in fight camp. I fight in 2 weeks, guys. 1.5 if you're not a member. Make sure to join. Support our podcast. Support our fight camps. All the money goes back to the show. We need a new camera. My phone keeps cutting out on us. So
hopefully my camera didn't cut out.
Hopefully. Oh, God. Knock on wood. So support the podcast. Become a member. It's only $1.99. And we will see you next week, the week before my fight. And what is it? 9 weeks before Jess's fight coming up.
Oh, God. What happened to 11 weeks?
It's coming. It's happening.
We're going.
We're
on that roller coaster and we're climbing.
Oh, God.
We're
that's
climbing
the
and we can't
scariest
get
part.
out. Oh, it's so thrilling. It's so scary and thrilling.
And then when you punch him in the face, it's wee.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait for that part. All right, guys. This has been another 2 Straws.
See you next time.